Welcome to another video on the Crush Crowdfunding YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about shipping. I know it's a big question, and it's honestly daunting for a lot of people because not everyone deals with shipping on a daily basis, and shipping is honestly kind of like a confusing topic, and it's kind of a big black box. So we're going to talk about it today and kind of ease some of your probably worries and really get you more in the know of how to actually implement some of these strategies and some of these tactics that a lot of campaigns out there actually have implemented. Let's get started by saying that a lot of people who reach out to me, a lot of people who I meet face to face, a lot of people just ask me. I see a lot of projects with free shipping listed, free shipping to the US, free shipping worldwide, free shipping to everywhere in the world, right? They see all this free shipping listed everywhere, and people are like, how is this possible? How are people doing this? Because when these entrepreneurs, they go out and check fulfillment companies, go out and check with logistics companies and delivery companies, they see that shipping is a huge cost. Shipping is expensive. Shipping isn't just, 50 cents and you can get a big product from the US or a warehouse in Hong Kong or a facility in Shenzhen. You can't just pay 50 cents and get that delivered to like the UK, for example, right? It's actually really expensive. Actually, one little tidbit that I'm gonna kind of leave you with here before we get into it is that I was working with an entrepreneur who was based out in Hong Kong and wanted to ship a product worldwide. And so they were looking at shipping prices for the US versus Canada. Again, the US and Canada are right next to each other as countries, right? Right next to each other. They're pretty much the same country sometimes. But they realized that shipping from the same place to Canada was twice the price, 2 times the price of shipping to the US. Although, again, it's pretty much in the same area and pretty much in the same location because it gets shipped to the west coast of both of those countries that are right next to each other. So again, shipping can be a big headache. Shipping can be a black box. So people, again, really wonder about shipping and how to do free shipping worldwide, right? How does this even work? So I wanted to kind of break that down and also break down some different ways that you can actually charge for shipping on your own campaign. There's 3 main ways that I'm going to discuss today, and you can go whichever way you want. And we'll kind of talk about in the end, like what you have to do after you've decided on which actual shipping price cost way that you are going to be doing for your campaign. So the first thing that I want to talk about for this particular video, again, is like a lot of people just really ask me, like, how do I do free shipping worldwide? It's so expensive. How do I do free shipping? To be totally frank with you, nothing in life is really free, right? There's no way it can actually be free, especially if you're seeing from your logistics people, your fulfillment company, that it's like $50 to ship from the factory to the US. If it's $50, like, how can you make that free? How's that possible? The best way to kind of talk about this is to give a concrete example. One company that I've actually worked with before, one entrepreneur that I've worked with before, they decided to do free shipping for their product. And the way to do free shipping for your product is to literally integrate whatever shipping cost that you find into the entire cost of creating the product. So a lot of entrepreneurs kind of go through product creation process and think, okay, we have product cost and then we have shipping and then we have price point or whatever. And so they tack on shipping after they look at all the product costs for making the actual product, the supply for it, the materials for it, the putting it together and things like that. However, if you want to charge free shipping for your project on crowdfunding, I would really recommend to look at it more in a holistic manner. Say if your product costs $5 to make and $15 to ship, then say your product cost is actually $20, and price your product, the price where people buy it, price it so that you can actually still have a margin left over after paying all the costs for shipping and your product, right? So there's 3 levels: the price people pay, the margins you have in the middle between that, and the cost of the product and the shipping. So that's really honestly how people do free shipping. They literally just integrate the cost for that shipping. They talk to fulfillment companies early to get those numbers crunched out for if it's, the US or worldwide or just US and Canada, just US and Australia, just the EU and US. They crunch out all these numbers early so that they're able to integrate these cost numbers for shipping into the entire holistic product cost so that they're able to price everything beyond that so that they still have leftover money, margin to play with in terms of, promotions or buffer for any hiccups that come up pretty much. And so again, that's the first way you can, charge shipping. You can do free shipping by actually putting that shipping cost into the product cost and, kind of bundling that together as one big cost. The second way you can actually do shipping for your crowdfunding campaign is to subsidize part of the shipping. Right? So for example, you can pay 50% of the shipping cost and backers are paying 50% of the shipping cost. And you can just literally go through on crowdfunding, on your Indiegogo campaign, on your Kickstarter campaign, and insert 50% of the full shipping cost into each country as you're putting in your rewards, as you're putting in your perks. Again, it can be any percentage that you subsidize. It can be 5%, it can be 90% that you subsidize. Whatever you want to subsidize, just make sure to remember that subsidizing shipping literally means that it's coming out from your pocket. The shipping cost is coming out from what you are paying for the product. So make sure to include this in your calculations of what can happen in the long run if you do subsidize 5%, if you do subsidize 90%. What happens? What happens in this case? Does the product make sense? Does the math make sense? Does it mean that you're actually losing money going into this crowdfunding campaign and you won't even have enough money to put the product into production and manufacturing and send it out to people? If that's the case, then maybe this is not the way to go, or maybe you have to look at subsidizing a lot less and telling your backers that, hey, this is how much you need to pay for shipping in order to get the product to yourself. That's the second way you can kind of implement shipping in your crowdfunding campaign, right? It's the subsidized part of the actual shipping cost itself. The third way, which is kind of the way a lot of people go down, is to have backers pay the full price of shipping, the full cost of shipping. So there's lots of pros and cons to this, right? Pro, from your perspective as an entrepreneur, as a new company that's building up, that's growing, that's actually launching. From that perspective, it's easy on cost, right? Like the backer actually pays that full price. The backer actually just takes all this under their wing and none of the responsibility is you. And all you have to do is actually take that money and get that thing shipped out. Pretty good, right? The con is that a lot of people are just really used to free shipping from the likes of like Amazon Prime, for example, or really quick shipping turnaround if they have enough items in their cart, like $75 and we'll give you free shipping for your entire purchase. So people are getting used to things like that. So seeing a high shipping number, people might not be as inclined to back your project just because they're seeing that it's so high, especially if you're launching a big hardware product or a heavy hardware product or a product that's just really difficult to ship, just the packaging is weird or something like that, or something that's like oddly shaped, right? Like they can see the shipping price and just be turned away or be turned off from your own project. So again, these are the top 3 things you have to really think about in terms of like how you want to implement the actual shipping itself. Do you want to integrate the cost into your entire product cost so you offer free shipping by pricing accordingly? Do you want to subsidize part of the shipping cost and kind of have your backers help pay in a way? Or 3, do you want your backers to pay the full price separately on top of the product cost? The tricky thing when it comes to shipping is actually not just getting the product to the right country. So for example, if your product is made in China, it gets sent to a warehouse in the US, and then it has to go to a different warehouse in the UK, or it has to deliver to a backer in Germany. Right? There's a little additional things you have to think about too, which is taxes and VATs, right? Custom taxes, duties, VATs. So a lot of these things you actually have to drill down with your fulfillment company too, so that you get to the bottom of it before you launch on your crowdfunding campaign. Because sometimes you really do find out that these additional taxes, these additional fees make your product 2 times or 3 times or 4 times the price that you're actually selling at, which kind of is a bummer for the end user. Like if there's a way to actually integrate that price, or there's a way to let people know that this is coming to them for when they're picking up the product, that's going to be really, really a great customer experience, right? Like seriously, whatever you do, whichever way you choose to implement shipping, whichever way you choose to implement any of these that you're going to be rolling out, I really encourage you to tell your backers exactly what you're doing and exactly what to expect, right? So that there are no surprises. Say, hey, I'm subsidizing 50% of the shipping because I really want this product to go out to your guys. I really know that shipping is a tough expense, so I'm really helping to subsidize this. Just FYI, there's also some taxes if you're in countries that collect taxes for products going into the country. So by just saying this and saying that you've done the research, showing exactly that you know what you're doing, that you're credible and you're trustworthy, and that you really just kind of have it figured out. If you understand exactly what the backer experience is going to be like and letting them know, they're going to trust you. They're going to be like, oh, okay, so this is why this person chose this way to ship. Oh, this is why I'm paying 50% of the shipping. Like, although some campaigns offer free shipping, this person's being really transparent and saying, hey, free shipping isn't really free shipping, and they're helping me pay for the shipping. And they're also letting me know, like, hey, there's going to be extra fees and stuff, and this is what I can expect. So the more transparent you are with your backers of how you decide to do shipping, like, it's gonna really help you in the long run, because there will be no surprises, right? People aren't gonna be just mad going to pick up your product and seeing that they have to pay another $300 is gonna be bad if you don't tell them about that before. Right? Again, there's 3 ways you can really implement shipping for your campaign. 3 ways are to integrate the cost of the shipping into the product cost and just pricing your entire project, your entire different levels and tiers of pledges and rewards in order to cover that shipping and have a margin. The second way is to really subsidize part of the cost of shipping so that you're sharing that cost with the backers and just letting them know what exactly you're doing. And the third way is just having your backers pay in full separately from the cost of everything else. Like, it's to say, hey, this is what the product is priced at, and then on top of that, pay shipping. So again, those are 3 different ways to just roll out shipping. You can do whatever you want to do for that. If you have any questions about your particular project, your particular product, or your particular thought process of how to actually implement the shipping, feel free to drop comments down below, drop questions down below, and I will be so happy to come back and answer those questions. And in the meantime, if you like this video or you found this helpful in any way, shape, or form at all, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. Thank you again for being with me in another video here, and I will see you next time.